Hello everybody, this is Luis from ASTROLOGICAL, and I would like to share a brief analysis of what this winter solstice in the northern hemisphere brings to the world influence at the world level using astrology. So, for this solstice of 2015 happened on the 22nd of December, which is today at 4:36 a.m. And I used, as you can see, 0 degrees north and 0 degrees west at the 0 time zone. So it's like a technique that I use, and it really helped me in the past to be more precise regarding rulerships, planetary rulerships, and positions in the astrological mandala. So for these next 3 months, because every time we do astrology for every season, for every time we change season, the forecast is going to be for the next 3 months until the next change of seasons happen. For example, this is valid until around March 22nd, which is our spring equinox. Okay, so for the next 3 months, December, January, February, and March, we are looking at a chart that has as the ruler, the master of the chart is Saturn, because Saturn is closer to the ascendant that we have this year in this solstice. So we see that Saturn means that all structures are going to be into, going into more expansions. Those countries around the world that are ruled by Sagittarius can be feeling like a little bit constricted or under more severe regulations, but at the same time, Saturn in Sagittarius gives the whole world, the energy of the world is going to be more structured, more defined. And as we can see here, there's a square. There's a square between Saturn and Neptune. Okay, Neptune is confusion. Neptune can mean chaos, and Saturn is order. So we can get into the conclusion that those countries ruled by Pisces, because Neptune is in Pisces, are going to be going under a reconstruction and more order. So if we go to the list of those countries, we can see that those countries, all of these countries, all of these areas of the world that we see here, let me highlight them right here, are going to be, building up more structures, better regulations, improvements in their environment, in their society. Okay, and those countries ruled by Sagittarius, or cities ruled by Sagittarius, Spain, Australia, Chile, China, they are gonna be feeling like a little bit of constriction, or they're gonna be under severe regulations. So those countries, those areas of the world during these next 3 months are gonna be having challenges, but they are for good. Those challenges and those regulations are for good, because that means that a new order is going to be established, and all the chaos is going to be finished for these geographic places. Okay, and also we see that there's a great trine here between involving the planets Jupiter, Pluto, and Mercury, the Moon in Taurus. These 4 planets, it's like a lucky charm for the economy worldwide, because we see Jupiter in Virgo involves benefits for those that work in agriculture, those areas of the world that have to do with agriculture. And these are events that involve Pluto and Mercury involve events that have to do with mining or oil companies. All of that is going to be very, very, very positive for those economic niches of the world. Also, this moon in Taurus sets the tone, the emotional tone of the whole world population for the next 3 months. So the moon in Taurus is very, very, very steady, very calm. We won't see a lot of chaotic energy as we saw in the past with the maybe the threats and all the violence going on. It looks like it's going to be a period of more peaceful energy for the whole world. Also, again, there's a great trine involving earth signs, which has to do with economy, with peace, calmness, and those are very fertile planets and very fertile signs that are involved in this trine. Another thing that is very important to notice is this Mars. Okay, Mars is a planet of wars. It's what gives the tendency towards if there's going to be, military movements or attacks, anything that has to do with violence. This Mars is in Libra. Libra is a peaceful sign. So Mars is attenuated, is a little bit, under the soothing energy of Libra, for the peaceful energy of Libra. It's more like diplomatic transactions rather than violent transactions. And also, this Uranus is in Aries, in opposition to this Mars. Uranus in Aries can be the unexpected violent events. Okay, so there's something, if we count the days, that can be triggered with related to violent threats worldwide. So if we progress this chart to see when it's gonna happen, or it's more likely to happen, we can see that every third of this circle has to do with 1 month, because the forecast is for the next 3 months. So a third of the circle is gonna be here at this point, 10 degrees of Aries, in 1 month. In 1 month, which is the January 22nd, we're gonna be this progression is gonna be touching this point, and we can see that between January 22nd sorry, and February the 1st, we can see some type of violent energy going on, but it's gonna be it's not gonna be a great of a great impact, because we see there's a trine with Saturn here towards this Uranus in Aries, which gives like a cushion to that energy. And also, even though there's Pluto and Mercury involved, triggering this situation here is mostly related to verbal threats, like threatening verbally on TV or the media. Also, we have to be careful this year with again with people that could be, you know, working in mines and having problems with getting out of those mines, like underground. Okay, things that have to do with underground events are going to be strong this year. All right. And volcanoes, I can see that volcanoes are being very active during the next 3 months. Okay. So by after February 1st, looks like it's gonna be until March. Just between February 1st and March the 1st is gonna be a good period where everything is gonna be in relative calmness, and there is no a lot of activity going on during that period of time. Venus have to do with the fashion movements in the world, and it's in Scorpio in the 12th house. So these situations that have to do with fashion or arts, I can see that there's somebody related to those activities, a renowned person, a well-known person that could be in having health issues or retiring, or, you know, just disappearing from the public scene in the fashion world or art. Okay, and we can see that the sun has no aspect, so this the sun rules the governments, the big, you know, the big power. So it's going to be in the 1st house, still, you know, ruling and establishing their rules, but I don't see too much interaction between the government and the masses, the regular people, all the communities. So there's going to be a little bit of distance there. They are both in earth signs, but there's not too much interaction there. We can see that Neptune is very close to the Coeli, which is the 4th house, the darkest point in the chart. Neptune there is very a little bit dangerous regarding earthquakes and tsunamis, everything that has to do with shaking, you know, earth shaking. And in Pisces has to do with the sea, so accidents in the sea, or probably new events that have to do with disaster may happen around maybe in 3 weeks, and also around March the 1st. All right, so let's see the map. Let's see the map of the world to see how it's gonna be affected by these planets. Okay, we were talking about Neptune. Neptune, which rules the earthquakes, is going to be all this line. This yellow line here is ruled by Neptune. It's a strong influence from Neptune. So anywhere during this, along this line, it's going to be a little bit chaotic. See the city of Houston, the Gulf of Mexico, the Pacific close to Panama, and South America. Okay, specifically this point here, Mexico. Mexico is here, northern Mexico. Well, all this area of Central America is vulnerable to natural disasters. If we see here also, we have the line of Neptune here again. This area here that I'm pointing at is very vulnerable to natural disaster. This is the Indic Ocean from India. It's close to Singapore and India here. And Australia. Australia is also influenced by the line of Pluto and Uranus. So disasters or instability in Australia. Okay, let's take a look at the points where Saturn is ruling. So this is the ruling line of Saturn. These areas of the world are going to be under a lot of stress this year. Also, if I go here, all this area here, United States, Texas, and all the here part of the Midwest, it's going to be under a lot of stress. Okay, the moon touches directly to Los Angeles, this southern California. That means that we can expect also like social movements there, or the masses can be a little bit upset. And also that has to do with nutrition infections, like related to food poisoning. They have to be very careful in this area. Alright, so the best areas to spend this next 3 days in the world is Peru, all this area of South America, Colombia, Ecuador. Looks like Cuba is going to have a good boost this year, financially and through international relationships, because Jupiter, which is their great good luck planet, is right on top of Cuba this year. Also New York, all this east coast of the United States is gonna be under a good influence because Jupiter is right on top of this area. Alright, let's see the counterpart, which is here, China. China is gonna have a good influence as well. Alright, the sun, the line of the sun, which are the governments that are gonna be going through a lot of changes. Also China and Russia, both of them are pointed out as for radical changes this period. And Venezuela here, this is Dominican Republic, and part of Canada, the east part of Canada. Also here in the northern areas of the United States. Okay, so I'm gonna change this map to only the United States to see how are the areas are gonna be influence these next 3 months. Okay, let's see. USA, United States, United States, America. Okay, as we can see, Jupiter, which is a very positive influence, is touching all these areas here. I will give a range of influence, a wider range of influence. Okay. Saturn is touching all these areas, which is not so good, but they're gonna have a little bit of hardship for the next 3 months. Neptune, the line of Neptune is touching Oklahoma City, Houston. Okay, these are can be prone to natural disasters or floods or blizzards. Things are not too good in relation to the forces of nature. And this is Moon and this is Venus. Venus have to do with attraction, so these areas here are going to have kind of a minor good luck or good influences. So these are positive areas to spend the next 3 months. Okay, all these areas here. I wouldn't recommend so much these areas ruled by the Moon, which is this line. Okay, so the best areas to be during this winter for the northern hemisphere is this line here and this area right here. Right? Okay. I hope you like the brief world analysis of this for this winter solstice. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate in contacting me. This is my phone number here, 954-479-0396, United States. And this is one of my emails and my secondary email. Please text, like the video if you like it. If not, you can just leave a comment, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So the next video is going to be related to the influence for each zodiac sign, not world influences, but for each zodiac sign. So wait for my next video, and thank you for your attention.